On this episode of the Big Insurance Connect, I'm joined by my community resource partner, Amico with Sweet and Sold Real Estate. We're discussing the advantages of having a certified senior real estate specialist. They offer an amazing concierge service that you cannot afford to miss. Let's check it out. Amico, how are you?
I am wonderful. Thank you, Moon, for having me. I'm so excited.
Okay, so let me get this entire let me get this whole speech out because I got to make sure I introduce you right, girl. All right, so literally you're one of the realtors in the greater Atlanta area, and you're recognized and designated by the Board of Realtors as a senior real estate specialist. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, and so tell me what that is, because I mean, today we're going to really talk about why someone would need a senior real estate specialist and what all comes with one.
Well, it is a new phrase for some people, but why a person would need a senior's real estate specialist? We specifically are trained. We had hours of training working on the needs of families who are maturing and transitioning. So it doesn't mean that just because you're a senior and you're from an age group, you could have children who need to support you and maybe live out of state that need to help families transition and move or to sell their homes. What makes this a specialty is there's various needs that we find with families. For example, certain families may need help downsizing, but they've been in their homes for 40 years and they don't know where to start. So we don't just put a sign in your home. We actually come to the home and find out exactly what our client needs are. And then we create a specific plan for that family member or their family. And we help them and we provide all the resources that they need to transition, to take the burden off. And there are special needs that we have to tend to. I hope that helps.
So are you thinking like, and I'm just thinking that like every time I've had to move or when I moved, and I'm thinking now, even right now, if I had to move, how much goes into that? And so I believe it could be very overwhelming for anyone, but especially if you're a senior, which you could have limited mobility, you could literally have limited resources in terms of like extra hands to help around because you could be living alone or something of that nature. I mean, so are those some of the things, like what specialties do you really assist with the move? Like, are you talking about more than just the sale of the home? You're talking about actually physically helping them move?
Yes. So what happens is, those are very good questions. So what happens is, let's talk about a senior who wants to move closer to their family. Okay. Well, they have been in their home for many years. And the idea of all this stuff, where to start, what's going in the real estate market, how to prepare and plan. Well, right. We come in and we help them break it down into small parts to help them identify where they're going, why they're going, and how we can put a team together. So, for example, we will bring in a team to help them decide what they should keep and what should go.
Oh, I love that.
They can also give them, it's a third party, but they can help them box. We can even do estate sales. We can do, it depends on what the need is. Whatever they have, we help them walk through each process. So whatever it is that they need in terms of boxing, downsizing, finding a new location, helping them take the bite out of moving, we consult at length and provide them professionals who's going to assist them to do that, and they're trusted. And so then we help oversee it and take the burden out for them.
Okay, I love that. And then it's just really gives them a little bit of peace of mind that these are things that they don't have to really worry about. You already have a checklist, and I'm sure you're helping them go, like you said, the next step to the next step to the next step. So you help them with selling their home, and then on the other end, buying another home if that's what they want to do?
Whatever it is that they want to do. So, for example, the client we met with today, he's in his 70s. He's overwhelmed. He's been in his home all this time, and he has a realtor that just say, put the for sale sign, put the price on and leave. But he canceled that. He contacted us. and we go out, and he's got to, not only is he having to move, he's got to think about his family,
Mhm.
who he's going to put in place to administer his estate. He's got to identify if there's children who's inheriting his property. He's got to think of all these things because he's transitioning either to a new home where his family is, or he may end up in perhaps independent living. So there's all types of things he was trying to sort out, like, does he need a will? What does he need? All these different aspects. We help him sort those ideas out and provide him with references and help him get sort through this planning stage.
Okay, so that is amazing. I actually have never heard of anyone that goes to those lands. So I'm glad that we connected. And honestly, we connected on a couple of different other things that you guys are working on with your business, which is still amazing. And so you kind of touched on it a little bit in terms of like, their executor of their estate and some things of that nature. So on the other end of that, this does take a little bit of estate planning, and that's a whole nother episode that we'll probably get into specifically. But so you work with lawyers. Do you have those type of references on your team as well that can help them to, on other ways to kind of tie up all their loose ends?
Yes. So in this role and being in this training, we partner with true professionals, attorneys, financial planners, estate planners, and those who actually assist. There's actually a moving company that is dedicated for seniors, and they are, and we team them up with whatever they need that specializes in helping them downsize. So how I got into this is my own family. We had a death that my grandmother had passed away, and she'd always told me, "Hey, you need a trust. You need a trust." And didn't realize, I'm like, "Yeah, I know because I have kids," but did not realize she did not explain what was all involved.
Mm-hmm.
So when she passed away, she had her will and her trust, and her estate plan was set. So when my aunt had to sell her home,
Right.
it became very important who was in place to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So she was the executor, and it made it so easy. There were some things that had to go to probate, but it made it easy because real estate is the biggest and wealthy. This is the nation's wealth. Everybody has real estate of some sort.
Right.
So if you don't have people in place designated to help you transition it properly, identifying the appropriate people, it could be a disaster. So we were able to move that home and get it sold, but we had to go through the attorney to make sure we were doing everything correctly, making sure taxes were paid. So it's very complicated.
Right.
And there's very important documents that need to be in place to make sure if in the event of death, you can actually sell the property. And that's what I mean. When untimely death takes place, you cannot just sell a family member's property. You've got to go through the legal processes, and that's how we help you sort through that.
Oh my gosh, I think that just takes so much of the burden off of your shoulders. And, the good thing is, and, I advocate for seniors all the time in terms of, being proactive and making your own decisions. And so this is a great way for them to also be able to decide and have a little say so on where they want to end up at and who they want to be with while they still can make those decisions. But then for some reason, if someone became incapacitated, having those things already in place is, already something that is set in stone so that it could be, less challenging to deal with in a case where somebody couldn't make their own decision. So I just love the fact that you have everything figured out, and it's something that you don't have to really worry about. Because like I said, moving is a beast. I wouldn't want to move even if I had to right now. Trying to figure out where to move. The prices of homes now have gone up. But then on the seller side, that might be good in terms of, a profit. But then, just in general, you got to look at the pros and the cons of everything. So,
and the industry has changed.
Mm-hmm.
So when many of our clients have bought and sold, it was years ago. It was easy.
Yeah.
It is very complicated now. It's very different, and there's many things they want to be protected by. And you want an expert. You know, there are a lot of real estate agents. You probably have one, a cousin, but not all of them understand the market, understand the complexity that's all involved in making sure the client's needs are best. Now, I help anybody,
Right.
but my seniors, this is a niche because they involve so much. They have a lot of things that they have to take care of. They have children, they have grandchildren, they need to transfer their wealth to
Right.
the appropriate person. So it's better to plan ahead, know who you're going to use in advance, because I have had an example, Moon, where the family lost the home or almost lost the home because they didn't have the right to sell the home.
Got you. Wow. That's eye opener right there. So I'm really looking forward to us maybe doing a part 2 where we can really just get into the real estate and not necessarily just the real estate, but get into the estate planning part that a lot of people don't realize go into real estate, especially when it comes to inheritance or even when it comes to, just like you said, probate and things of that nature. But we really want an attorney to kind of speak to those things.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll come and bring you back on another time where we can have your attorney resource. But I'm just really excited about what you're doing for the community. I actually had one of my Medicare clients that gave a really, really big shout out to you. He called me. He was over the moon, quote unquote. And he was just like, listen, he talked about how professional you guys were. He talked about how on point the attorney was. He talked about how much, knowledge, even though he had, I guess a lot of assets in terms of real estate, but just the fact that you walked him through all that steps. And I know it's not an overnight process, because I believe I referred to you guys a couple of months ago. Sometimes, depending on the situation, it could take time. But the fact is that he's in his mid 70s and he's gotten that done now. Right. Yeah. So he feels good about that. And I think that's really what it is. Peace of mind. So you guys are providing a service, but you're also providing peace of mind.
Yeah. That's what comes along with being planned and being prepared.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, real estate is at the foundation of all our lives, and somewhere along the line, we're going to have to transfer that wealth. And you really want someone who's experienced in it and understands not just selling the home, but understanding that there's a family who's making a decision for a particular reason. And that's how we approach our real estate company.
And I do think, too, from like a sentimental value perspective, it would be hard after living somewhere for 40 years or more than that to really kind of make that decision to, decide to sell or leave or have to leave or whatever, So I believe that there has to be the right type of person to come in with, a certain type of delivery, certain level of compassion. And, I think, as you get attached to different things, it's hard to even, like you said, decide what to keep and what to give away, So
exactly.
I think that you guys are on the right track. You and your husband, Tamoy, are amazing people.
He was helping one of our senior clients sort through it.
Oh, I love that. See, you guys are not scared to get your hands dirty.
Yeah. Well, we don't actually put our hands on and sort. We can't do that.
But you manage the process, right?
We manage the process. We oversee and we make sure we understand what the client's needs are.
Right.
And then we level up from there.
Yeah, but see, I think that's just what really sets you apart from other realtors or even people who are in the same space. Like you said, there's a lot of realtors out there, but no shade against realtors, because I think everybody has to find their person, right? But in terms of seniors, we know there's a different level of compassion and a different level of hands-on that may need to be, given. And I think that is what really makes a difference in what you're doing. And then maybe someone else. And I think that if anyone that's watching this is looking for, some assistance on either relocating, downsizing, maybe even looking at just what your options are. You guys are here in the Atlanta area, but are you spread? Are you kind of like going to
Yes.
other cities, and are you outside of Georgia?
Very good. We are licensed only in the state of Georgia, and we work in the greater 11 counties of Georgia. So that would be Cobb County, that would be Douglas County, that would be Henry County, that would be Fulton County. We serve all of those areas.
Okay. So for right now,
County, I should say. Let me not say
Yeah.
forget one that we do.
no,
we
I
do
mean
that.
honestly, Atlanta Metro is just huge, right? You
It's
can
huge.
I mean, you got a lot of ground to cover in just Fulton, okay?
Exactly.
But that's amazing that you guys, I mean, I think you have your work cut out for you. There's a lot of homes on the market right now. It's a lot of people. Like I know, I think about my neighborhood. When we first moved here, there were a lot of retirees. And also, you know, some few of our neighbors had passed away. And then those homes that went up for market after, you know, their estate was settling and things of that nature. So I do understand, you know, some of the older neighborhoods where people, you know, the generations are changing. And so they need someone specifically that is going to talk to what they need to get accomplished for their family. And I'm glad that it's you. And I wanted to be able to share this information with everyone that's watching the Big Insurance Connect. So we have your phone number down here scrolling at the bottom of the video. And if anyone wants to reach out to Amiko, please do not hesitate. She is top notch, and I can speak to the level of customer service that her and her husband Tamoy they offer, because I've gotten so many accolades from some referrals that I've sent to you. So I appreciate you taking care of my clients, and I know that you're going to take care of all the ones that you're going to get in the future. So I say to you, until the next time, I love you and I mean it.
Love you, and signing off. And thank you, Moon. This was a privilege to be in your space.
Oh, no, anytime. We're working together for the greater good of the community, because we are definitely both advocates in our own way. Thank you so much.
If you enjoyed this episode, do me a big favor. Please like, share, and subscribe to the #1 insurance resource that has you covered from the womb to the tomb for all things health and wealth. Until the next time, I love you and I mean it.